Alright, I want to do a review on this CalPly C2 and then also talk a little bit more about this Magic Doll Prophecy mold. Now I set this up a couple videos ago with some Li-Fi G4s. These are the polished versions, and I have Li-Fi G4s in the raw version. And I made a video about trucks the other day, and someone actually posted in the comments, I did not know this, but Li-Fi makes completely copies, clones, replicas, fugazis, whatever you want to call them, of BRTs with the skull and the crossbone. I did not know that. I thought everybody was just always referring to these and getting mad about these being a copy. So I understand the frustration now. So, from my understanding, the way to know that you have a clone other than a real set will be your BRTs upside down, the skull will be upside down. If they're clones, upside down, the crossbones and the skull will be right side up. So they're flipped. But we're not really here to talk about that. When it comes down to trucks, Li-Fis, all the Li-Fis that I do have don't have any other branding on them. They don't say Dynamic. They don't say Black River. They don't even say Li-Fi. These polished ones, have something under them, but it's only like 4 letters. And I don't think it says Li-Fi, but it definitely doesn't say Black River, where my BRTs say Black River all the way across the base plates. So take that with a grain of salt. I think the G4s are their own kind of truck. I like G4s. I mean, it's really hard to beat the price of Li-Fis. Doesn't mean I'm never going to buy a pair of BRTs, because I just bought a pair not too long ago, 2.0s. And now you can get BRTs without the tool. So I think they finally are listening to customers who already have one of those tools, or just have a bunch of tech deck tools and a decent set of screwdrivers to not strip their base plates with. So back to this Magic Doll. I originally set this up for a outdoor setup because someone was on, either DM'd me in my Instagram or commented on a YouTube video saying that this would be a good mold for outdoors. And it makes sense because it's a higher mold. When you're outdoors, it's really rocky. So using a low board is damn near impossible. Even if you look at the knife video, someone also commented, I think they have a knife. I've never owned a knife. I've never used one. But he said they are pretty similar to a CalPly C2, which is a mid-shaped deck. I have one right here. So that makes sense. There's a little bit more of an angle. It sits a little bit higher. A lot of the spots in that knife video, some of them were pretty crusty. So if you take your fingerboard outside and you try to hit some crusty spots, you do have to give them some credit, because that shit was pretty gnarly. But I have used this outside at a couple spots. They're not too gnarly of spots. There's like a little art spot by my apartment. It's right outside of a bus station, and it's like a ledge with skate stoppers, but the skate stoppers are art pieces. It's really weird. It's hard to explain, but it's very smooth. I seshed that a little bit, and then like some concrete gaps. That's about it. Nothing too crazy where, I mean, you can see like the wheels have been used outside, but these are those Pipsqueak wheels, and I actually like these wheels. These wheels roll. These wheels roll really good. Excuse your ears if you don't like this, but they squeak. These are the F2s. They are probably one of my grippiest wheels. Um, they're not as soft as Oaks by any means, but they are more grippy than a Joy Colt, I will say, and not as hard as a Joy Colt. But definitely not as soft as an Ampersand and not as soft as an Oak. Ampersands are the softest wheels I've used by far. Um, but yeah, these wheels are pretty good. And this deck is phenomenal. This mold is phenomenal. I never thought I would say that about a mid to high kicked board, but now I completely understand why people ride mid to high kick boards, why people ride Snake House, Knife Lord, or I think that's how you say it. I've never had one of those either. But I see why people enjoy these. I don't think they look aesthetically pleasing while filming, but they are a blast to use. This thing is a blast to use. It is super easy to flip in and out of grinds. Um, I've been using this in locking in tricks and then immediately going to this and getting them lower and to the point where I can get them steady on this. So I definitely appreciate having this in my arsenal, and this is a board that I think even when it gets thrashed, I won't take apart. I think I'm just going to keep it set up, and I wouldn't mind having another one of these molds if this ever loses its pop or just gets completely thrashed. Definitely a supporter of this. Now this, I've had someone commented on my YouTube post, and then I think I got like 2 comments on my YouTube, and usually I don't get a lot of comments. I have a pretty small channel. Um, and a couple people DM'd me saying that Cowply C2s is their go-to. And I can see why. I've had this deck for a while, but when I set it up, um, they sent me this with a C3 because I ordered a C3, but John threw this in because shipping took so long. So I set this up and then immediately took it apart and set up the C3. I've always, since I got back into fingerboarding, have been a low kicked guy. So setting this up and actually using it, I do enjoy it, and it is very well rounded. I will say this is kicked just a tad bit higher on the nose, but the tail is kicked higher than this. This tail, it's not mellow like this loner, but it's not as high kicked as this Magic Doll, where this looks pretty drastic, but when you put them side by side, they're not really that drastically different. You can tell that they're almost the same exact length. Of course, the Cowply is 1 millimeter wider because it's a 33, and this is a lot thinner pressed with a lot more weight, or thinner glue, or with epoxy or something. I don't know. This is really, really poppy. This is like a catfish. And I hate to say it, but like a Beast Pants. Like when you get a Beast Pants, you can tell that they press the fuck out of that thing. That's how this is. This is pressed extremely well. Where this, it's not pressed bad, but it's just a thicker deck. And I have board rails on it, so it's not that it doesn't have pop. It's just, this is outrageous. So, but the shape of this is very, very forgiving. I do like the classic Joy Colts on it. I was going to put some OG XLs on it because that's my favorite wheel. I just like the size, and I like the cut of it, and I like the look of it. I really want to find some OG classics. All the classics I have are 3.0s, But these wheels are phenomenal too. I got these off of eBay from somebody, but these roll extremely well for being matte era Joy Colts. Usually when you get matte era Joy Colts, they've been used a lot. The bearings haven't had any upkeep. I use Bone Speed Cream and it fixes them. I mean, it doesn't fix them forever, but it fixes them for the time being. I mean, at least for like a month, right? And then you just you like, don't even squeeze the bottle, just like a little tip of the nipple of the cream, and then the next wheel, and then just wipe the wheel completely off, and you'll be good to go. Don't go fucking squirting that shit in there because you'll get it all over your board. It'll be in the plies, and that's not what you want to do. But you can definitely see this is a little bit wider, just by a tad bit. You could definitely see it up here, where there's just like a tad overhang. You really can't tell when you're riding it, but not a biggest fan of this grip. I don't even know. I bought so many boards. People have sent me boards, so I just have a bunch of different grip. I'm not a big fan of the textured grip, not gonna lie. Maybe when this breaks in a little bit more, I will be, but for now, it just kind of like throws my brain for a loop that there's like divots in it. And it's not divots where my fingers normally go, it's divots everywhere. Really big fan of the tape that is on the yellow wood. And I like the tape that's on this loaner. I really just am really happy with this, especially first time purchasing a loaner. Pretty sure he hasn't been out for that long. Just really happy with this. I would say probably right up there. Definitely top 3 boards that I have, and I have a pretty big collection of boards. Top 3 setups that I have. This is just, it looks super good. It rides super good, and it is a blast to use. So, I mean, there's nothing more you can really ask for. And it's put together super good. I think Mint FB was telling me that if he thought it felt a little light. I have Dynamics. There, I bought these at the letter store in Richmond, so they could be the heavy ones. They feel normal to me, but I don't find this to be too light. And I have Joy-Colt lights on it, which is a Joy-Colt's smallest wheel. It feels perfect. I feel like if it'd be any heavier for how low it is, it wouldn't be impossible, but it would be kind of cumbersome. So it's not light and flimsy and not pressed well. It's pressed well. I would say it's normal weight. And it has a full nose. That is one thing you'll notice, where it almost looks like it gets a little bit wider right here. So it's not hard to. Sorry about that. That's the washing machine. At least you know your boy washes his clothes. But yeah, there's no problem knowing the nose and the tail, so there's no need for a grip gap. Sometimes I do grip gaps, sometimes I don't. I find when I do grip gaps, the grip just peels faster. And when I've been setting up boards now, I've been putting the grip on, then punching holes and screwing into it. Some people say that makes your grip wear faster because there's holes in it. I don't really care about that, but I like seeing like I did a grip gap on this, but I like seeing the hardware. That's just me. But yeah, that's my thoughts on this Calply C2. It is, I would say, one of the better all-around boards. And I'm super, super happy with this. I would say definitely my outside board, but I have been using this inside just to get tricks on lock and then go to a lower board. The only thing that I don't like about this is it pops tricks super high, and it is so crisp that it feels light. But that's about it. It doesn't feel light like you have tech deck trucks on it, but it is just so snappy. And I think it comes with FBS, so I mean, you can't go wrong with one of these. And Calplies, I know there's always been like the quality control thing with Calplies, but the C2, it's a great mold. I like it. This is a great setup. So hope that helped anybody if you're interested in any of those two or three boards.